Louisiana State Championship at the 1A level. Second and goal from deep. Nussmeyer, end zone shot. Contested catch. Brown. LSU touchdown from 17 yards out.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It is the eve of LSU Ole Miss. The eve of LSU Ole Miss begins tomorrow. Earlier kickoff, 2:30 p.m. kickoff Central Time. The first early kickoff in, God, I can't remember how long, for LSU. And we've previewed this game already, and we went pretty damn in depth with it. We're not going to go over any of the stuff that we did before because I think it was almost a 2 hour show. I think it more than made up for any, you need a preview. We had the article preview. We've had the almost 2 hour show preview. We've dissected this game in and out as much as humanly possible. What I'm going to do now is kind of give some final thoughts before the game begins and also provide some news. Of course, you heard the news. Gabe Relaford out for the season. He's LSU's starting defensive end. Just, the first big hit to this team as far as injuries outside of, obviously, Nussmeyer having these injuries has been a hit on the offense, right? But we haven't had a serious hit as far as like that guy's out for the season. That guy's got a serious injury that is going to put him out for a significant amount of time. LSU's been lucky. We haven't had to really deal with that yet. And now we are. Gabe Relaford, he makes that tackle for loss, his only tackle for loss on the season. And the second he gets up, he's just kind of like, oh, crap. His arm's he could tell something was wrong with his arm. And he was done. His shoulder absolutely messed up. I think it was rotator cuff or something like that. Really hope he has a quick recovery. He's a great talent. And that's the thing is, yeah, he only had one tackle for loss, a few pressures. To a lot of people's eyes, maybe he didn't make a lot of splash plays. Maybe he didn't jump off the screen. But Gabe Relaford, he's a guy out there who's doing the job. He's fundamentally sound on the edge. He's got incredible length, solid to strong tackling abilities. He's really a piece to the defense that you don't want to lose, because even if you prefer Peyton and Pyburn over Relaford and you start those guys over Relaford, you have such a valuable depth piece in Gabe Relaford, and now he's no more for the rest of the season. Just not going to be able to play another part in the season. That's that really sucks for Gabe Relaford, and it sucks for the defense too. And it sucks for his teammates. This is a great player entering year two. You're seeing that rise, seeing the climb, but instead, we're not going to be able to see him anymore this season. And there's something about season-ending injuries that have always pissed me off. Just never really quite sit right. Never quite feel good. There's just kind of this feet injury. Can't stand cannot stand injuries. And Gabe Relaford would lose him to another one. I think this season.
Relaford.
Yep, that was the moment right there where Gabe Relaford, awesome play, and then comes up holding his shoulder. And big number 19, you could already tell this is not good. I thought broken collarbone, but it's even worse than that. There's no chance for him to play any more part in the season. I would hope that's wrong. Hopefully he could return for like latter stage of the college football playoff or something. But with the injury he sustained, I'm not so sure that can happen. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing tonight? Anybody going to Oxford, making the trip to see? Usually LSU Ole Miss is one hell of a fight, of a battle. Usually, last few years it's been high-scoring shootouts. Just complete sleazy defensive play. LSU allowed something like 700 yards in 2023. Another 600-yard game in 2019. We have allowed a ton of yards, a ton of points to Ole Miss under Kiffin. But the two areas that concerned me the most going into this game is LSU running the football on this Ole Miss defense, who allow 190.5 yards per game, no less than 172 against all four opponents they've played: Tulane, Arkansas. Oh God, who else do they play? They played just some really small teams. That it's just, how did this happen? How are you guys? Oh, Georgia State, 191 rushing yards with Georgia State as well. Like, just, they are porous defense, and nothing like they were last year. They've lost all those guys. They put up 25 quarterback pressures and 4 quarterback hits on LSU last year. That's crazy. And they're not going to be able to count on really much of that pressure. And that's why it's very important for LSU to run the football, not only to control the clock, help the defense out against that tempo from Lane Kiffin's offense, but you keep Nussmeier from all these hits. He's having to constantly drop back to make one pass attempt after another. Suntarine Perkins, some of these guys are going to come in there and get some shots on Nuss against this offensive line. So you want to see this offensive line hold tough and really get the ground game going here. And I'm really, really interested to see who Brian Kelly lines up on this offensive line, on this offensive front going into this game, because he's got some options, but really this is a unit that has struggled for most of the season. LSU are what, 117 yards per game, something like that. I don't even think they rush for that much. 117 yards per game. I don't even think that's how much we rush for. That seems like it's too much. LSU have been piss poor rushing the football. And yes, we've had some moments, Caden Durham at 93 yards and then 74 against Clemson, these moments where LSU were able to kind of control proceedings here and there. This is a game where LSU need to control the game front to back. And also against Ole Miss, and that with this offense, LSU cannot put their defense, down 10-0 early, down 14-0 early. I don't think that'll happen unless a bad turnover and then like horrific special teams mistake or a crazy good return pinning the defense deep, and basically Ole Miss get to pitch it in real quick and then add a field goal to it. And our offense just keeps wasting early first quarter possessions. That cannot happen again. That's happened so many times in the Ole Miss LSU showdown era over the last few years. Last year, LSU did not lead the entire game until they scored that touchdown in overtime. I don't like, how rare is that? It seems like that is almost like impossible, like for that to happen. Like, what are the odds? And so it's like Garrett Nussmeier had a bad game for 3.5 quarters against Ole Miss last year too, and so you really have to get this thing going quick. I mean, I'm not expecting Nuss to come out throw 200 yards in the first half and rush all over. We know what this defense can do. We don't have to score a ton. We don't have to put up a ton of yards, a ton of points. You can score 27, 28 and beat this Ole Miss team probably. But I've warned, show after show, article after article, I have warned about putting our defense time after time after time in these, must win, must stop situations nonstop. Because look at the 2023 offense. We rode that 2023 offense. We rode them so much that it was like, if they were not perfect, if they didn't score 55 points, if they didn't score every single drive, then we were going to lose the game. Not even talking about control the game. We're talking about lose the game, because that's how bad the defense was. That offense was playing against two defenses every game. Now, you can't have the 2025 LSU defense that has been remarkable. You cannot have them playing against two offenses every game, the opponents and their own, because as good as they've been, just 9.2 points allowed per game, you cannot put them in these spots where game after game after game, you need plays from your defense constantly to be, delivered from evil. Like, you cannot just put this on your defense game after game after game after game. And Brian Kelly said this in a press conference. He literally said almost the exact same thing. We can't put this all on the defense. Our offense has to get it going again this week. And so hopefully they have methods that they're going to do that to get the offense going. And I think the way to get this offensive rushing attack going is show a lot of versatility here. You can put Xavier Thomas back there. Then you can have a jet sweep with Barian Brown. Then you can, give it to Caleb Jackson for some power play. Then you can get it to Caden Durham, who looks like he is going to be potentially playing in this game. Still a game time decision, but you have options here. Juwan Johnson, someone I really want to see given opportunities in this game. He's deserved it. He's earned it after his performance last week. Harlem Berry, very, very attractive dual threat option here for Garrett Nussmeier. And that's the thing I want to see is maybe to help the running game, the dink and dunk, passes in the flat, some of that type of stuff, that could help kind of facilitate some type of rushing attack. As long as you're wearing down Ole Miss's defense and you stay committed to the run, you will get those running yards at some point, and you will be able to control, say, that second half. Say, I'm expecting LSU won't be able to come out and just run it down their throat and just go to town. I'm expecting LSU are going to have to set this offense up through the air to get it going on the ground. And if LSU's offensive front cannot generate at least 100 total rushing yards against this Ole Miss defensive front, this Ole Miss defense, then serious questions have to be asked. We couldn't push Southeastern around. We couldn't really bully them whatsoever. They were actually bullying our offensive linemen, injuring our offensive linemen at times. What is that about? Southeastern, Louisiana Tech, LSU's offensive line continuously having issues. And we're going to have Braden Augustus, a walk-on, who's going to have to be playing in the spot where DJ Chester was likely going to play, but he's out for an unthinkable, crazy targeting for the first half of this game. And Weston Davis, it seems, has lost that right tackle spot. If he's put there at that right tackle spot against Ole Miss, I have some significant worries because they just have to put Suntarine Perkins over there and just let him go to town for 4 quarters, and he's going to get sacks. He's going to get plays in the backfield. And so Brian Kelly, Brad Davis, Joe Sloan, they've got to find an option. And we paid Alex Atkins a lot of money to come in here and get this running game going. It's time that he fulfills that and presses the right buttons and gets the running game going. This is the game you should be running all over Ole Miss. You should be a commanding, controlling, rushing attack against Ole Miss. And then we know what you can do through the air. Brown, Xavion Thomas. They've had big seasons already. And yes, limited outputs. Aaron Anderson. Let's get him in the damn end zone. He doesn't have a touchdown yet through 4 games. And he's easily one of LSU's best players on offense. This is a team that knows how to win, though. They know how to do it gritty. They know how to dig deep and get these tough wins. And this is going to be a test, though, on the road. This is going to be their stiffest test. I think Trinidad Chambliss. There's something about this player that worries me. Because, yes, people have laughed at Ferris State is where he played before. And, the difference in talent, the difference in player that he's about to face against LSU, the difference in the speed. I understand that. He looked really good against Arkansas, though. That's an SEC team. I understand. But we cannot be so bullish. As great as this defense is, as much as I love this defense, as much as I think this defense will have success against Trinidad Chambliss, far more success than they've had against the Russian quarterbacks in years past, you still have to worry because LSU haven't done it yet. An LSU defense has not stopped a running dual threat quarterback in a long time. You could argue Cade Klubnik is one, and LSU were able to bottle him up. But this is going to be that test because people think of Lane Kiffin as like some, aerial air raid offensive coordinator. I don't understand that. They don't focus on the fact that his play calling for years is all predicated on the running game. and getting the running game going and getting it going in very interesting, innovative ways. And then you have those explosive passing plays from that profit directly from that running attack. You wear down a defense, get them going left, right, center, where they don't know what's coming next, can't even really get set with that tempo, and then you're unleashing bombs all over the field. That's what this Lane Kiffin offense is about. And Trinidad Chambliss, man, he's done it through the air, he's done it through the ground. 195 yards on the ground. He had 15 carries in one game. They are going to give him the football in the running game. 719 through the air, 0 interceptions, 7 touchdown passes. He takes care of the football as well. I think LSU fans are maybe taking him a little not. I think they're taking him like he's going to be a very easy. Our defense is going to absolutely destroy him, eat him alive. That would be great. I would love that. I would love to see LSU's defense bottle him up, absolutely devour Trinidad Chambliss, and make it, a easy, quick cancellation for Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss. But remember, they're a 4-0 team too. They're playing at home, and they've got the best play caller in the game on the offensive side of the ball in Lane Kiffin. You've got an LSU defense that blitzes 40% of the time and hits the quarterback 41% of the time. You're going to see all of these things tested at how well LSU have held, teams on the ground as well. 56 rushing yards a game or something like that? Like, LSU have been immaculate against the run this year. They've got 11 sacks on the year. They've made plays in the backfield. They've got 6 interceptions already. This is a complete defense. However, questions can be had about the competition level of both sides, yada, yada. LSU have faced a lot tougher of a gauntlet and a schedule and just, look at the way that the Clemson game started out the season, the pressure, the high stakes. Ole Miss haven't had to deal with that at all. This is their first time. So we're going to find out just what type of team Ole Miss is. We're going to find out what type of defense, just how good this defense actually really could be, or if there's still some things that need to be adjusted and worked on to make sure they can stop a running quarterback. Whether or not they can stop, Trinidad Chambliss, that will not decide the game straight up. I think there's other factors to this game that can help decide it, especially LSU's offense. But if LSU can bottle up and completely contain Trinidad Chambliss, then LSU will start to run the football. I feel like those things just go straight hand in hand. But we could see a weird game in 3 different ways this week. We could see a game that's low scoring. That's like a slugfest. We could see a shootout. I don't think we'll see a shootout, though. LSU's defense is too good. But if you give Lane Kiffin short fields, and if Trinidad Chambliss is having success and say our offense is turning it over and special teams making bad plays, we're giving them, close field position. You just have to make a few plays. I don't want to see it being, 3.5, 4 quarters of LSU's defense back up against the wall trying to scratch and crawl and keep this team in this game. That should not be how the script of this game. LSU should be able to control the game enough on the ground, enough with this offense to beat this Ole Miss team by at least 10 points. I see a lot of people bullish on this game, thinking LSU, they're going to win this thing. There's no chance for Ole Miss. There's a chance for Ole Miss for sure. There's a chance for anybody to beat anybody in modern day college football. But the bar is really low for success here for LSU against Ole Miss. Ole Miss have to play a perfect game to beat LSU to get past that defense. To hope Nussmeier has a horrible day. To hope that not only can LSU not run the football, but then LSU can't do anything through the air too. And then you're also pressuring and sacking Nussmeier. And then not only are you running the football in LSU's defense, but you're also making plays through the air against that unbelievable LSU secondary. I think Ole Miss has to have a perfect game to win this thing, whereas LSU just have to really do the bare minimum as far as controlling a game on the ground. They really have to do the bare minimum as far as managing things. It's really up to the defense to handle Trinidad Chambliss. That's really what this is about. Is can LSU's defense handle Trinidad Chambliss? Take him to the clock. Take him to the cleaners. And absolutely make a statement that says, hey, we're the best defense in the country right now. Because if they go into Ole Miss and with Chambliss's success, and they do an absolute shutdown type of performance where Ole Miss get one, maybe two touchdowns, if that, then everyone's going to be talking about this defense and Blake Baker's absolute mastery with this defense. Now, I would be stunned if LSU lost this game. It is the SEC. It is, these games are always going to be tough. But like I said, the bar is so low. LSU only have to do a few things to win this game with that type of a defense that they've got. But if our offense comes into Oxford and thinks that they can score 17 to 20 points, give up a Florida type of effort, and they're going to win this game and, help their defense, and their defense is going to keep them down to 10 points, they've got another thing coming. Because the way Lane Kiffin runs that offense, the tempo he has, the amount of plays your defense can face just in a first half before you've even woken up, like, you have to contend with that. You have to be ready out of the gates. Because Lane Kiffin, the Rebels, they're going to be. So you cannot afford to start this game early. You cannot. Nussmeier should absolutely put up a 300-yard passing game against this Ole Miss secondary. It should be his first 300-yard passing game. LSU should be able to at least generate something on the ground. And once again, that defense, guys, return of Trey Des Green on offense as well. There's no way LSU lose this game. There's always a chance for an opponent. There's always a chance, but for me, I go with LSU 38, Ole Miss 17. And a lot of people thought I was being crazy giving them 17 points. Those are our final thoughts for the game. We will be coming up with a lot more content tomorrow as this game goes on. We're going to be having a post game right after, and we're going to be putting out the articles and really just pumped for this game. This slate tomorrow is ridiculous for college football fans. Like, you have to be fiending for tomorrow if you're a college football fan. This is set up for glory. And LSU, don't make it a bad day. You're 4-0. It's time to make it 5-0. It's time to make this the real deal. And I think a lot of people are going to be thinking a lot of great things about LSU come Sunday morning, come Monday morning. I think people are going to be talking a lot about the C word come Monday morning, come Sunday. And I think you know what I mean by that. Championships, baby.